enough of NGL this week? Me neither. Good thing we have more shit Monday to keep it going. More shit Monday is brought to you by Allstate. Roll the clip. Next up from G Victoria 10. Hey Kai, have you ever had other hair colors, or would you? Now I feel like this was an attempt to say that I should not have this hair color. I have always had this hair color. There was a short period of time where I was more brassy or orangey because I did the Go Blonder spray on my own. It was bad. It was not good. It was bad. I didn't ever dye my hair darker because it's just not my cup of tea. I actually don't feel strongly about my hair. I used to cut it myself. I cut it myself all the way through college. So I was just a firm believer in like, who's going to be able to tell? I was a firm believer in my hair is so long, who's going to be able to tell that it's uneven? And if I'm going out or doing something, I'm going to be blow drying it with a little bit of a flip on the end or curling it. Who's going to be able to tell if it has that much texture in it? Every hairstylist right now is rolling their eyes as hard as they possibly can. And I apologize for that. I'm not saying I was right. I'm just saying that was my belief at the time. And then Libby hit, Jason's hairstylist, who he has been using since he came to Philadelphia. She looked at me one day and was like, you got to cut that out. And if there's one thing I'm going to do, it's listen to Libby. So I cut it out. And by that, I mean, I started sitting in her chair. And I love Libby and I trust her. And, it's, yeah, I'm not going to ever dye my hair dark because I don't have the balls to do that. And I think it would freak me out. That's what I got. I dye it. I get highlights occasionally. That's guys, there is no rhyme or reason to a goddamn thing I do when it comes to self-care or upkeep. I'm not on a schedule period. That applies to my whole life across the board, including dyeing my hair. I do get highlights. I'm not sure what happens when I go to get highlights. I'm dead ass. I couldn't even be in it. I don't even know what I ask for. That's that. I don't know. Jen, shout out to Jen. Jen did the last highlights. I think I don't fucking know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. From Savannah. What's some advice you would give your girls when it comes to Mean Girls? Oof. There's one thing I know for certain. I have looked at my 6-year-old child when she is not being kind to her sisters, and I have explained to her that if you are going to be a mean girl, you will not have friends because people will not want to be friends with the mean girl. I hope that spills into the idea that they would then not want to be friends with a mean girl. When it comes to advice for them and how to deal with mean girls, it depends how old they are. To be fair, I think you can kind of sniff out as an adult, you can kind of sniff out a mean girl in the way that you watch them play and interact with each other. I think it's just really important to mirror. Well, not mirror, they mirror. I think it's important to give the example of nice play or nice communication so that your kids acknowledge and recognize what is nice play and what is good communication so that they sort of lean away from mean girls naturally. Because girls are mean. They're so mean. They're mean. I'm out. I mean, just off the top of my head, I could name a, a number of mean girls that I have come across in my life. And I immediately rolled out. The minute I was like, yeah, that's not vibing, I rolled out because I don't need all that. And it's not hard to be nice. It really isn't. So I would hope that in emphasizing kindness and emphasizing to them that they should treat others the way they want to be treated, I would just hope that my kids would lean away from mean girls. I also at some point did tell my child that if I ever found out that they were being a mean girl at school, that they would be homeschooled. Which, like, they're too young to know what homeschool is. I went on to explain that they would no longer get to go to school with their friends because going to school, like I've said before, is a privilege. And if they can't be kind to their classmates or friends, then they don't have any business being there. Was it harsh? Probably. Do I stand by it? Yes.